We have a long history of blaming the Jews for things that infidels come here and do. If the party in question, even if they're hostile, even if they do something like just screw your whole thing up, if it's not something they can go back and brag to their father about, it's not a Jew. It might be an Arab, Semite, whatever. Personally, I mean, I'll take an exiled Jew over a French Canadian any day. The point is, there's a difference between a tourist and a fugitive. This miscreant obviously can't go home. You're gonna blame the people that kicked him out? If they did anything wrong, it was not, tie this loose end up before it went and created blowback. Listen, you hear me talking right now, right? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? The people following me around would only do this because they hate the Jews. There is no any holy text, no prophet in Judeo-Christian history would abide any god of this unwashed zombie asshole apocalypse. Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs. My name is Noel D. Smith. Single, straight, no kids, never married. No abortions, no abominations, no divorces, no bankruptcies. Never sold cocaine, never forged ink on paper, let alone cashed a fraudulent check, let alone robbed a bank, let alone with a knife, let alone in America. We're going to Denver. We're going to go to the North American Air Defense headquarters. I'm going to punch a hole in their commander's throat, pull his heart out of his neck hole. The Israeli Mossad are some of the most faithful Jews in the world. Okay, it's not the same as the KKK. No. They just don't get it. They just can't imagine like being different. The Islam's impetus to expand is that these idiots do just unforgivable, terrible things. That's the only reason Islam continues to expand the way it does, because Europe was invaded by Islam. They banned reading, burned witches at the stake, and this is the world's concept of Christianity. But the Greeks did not ban reading. The Romans did not ban reading. The Jews require that you learn how to read before they decide what, whisper the sins of the tribe. Good luck, kid. We don't rile up some suicide bomber and like 72 virgins waiting. Okay, Islam does not exist in the eyes of God. It's heresy. Religion has nothing to do with monotheism. I know, that sounds like blasphemy, but I'll stomp your little Jew guts out. You don't believe in the one true creator of heaven and earth, I can introduce you right now. The point is, other gods are acknowledged in the Torah. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And what that means, that doesn't mean you're not allowed to study other religions. I mean, too late now. What it means is, don't bring false idols into my tabernacle. You're not gonna come over here and just chase me around, act like I'm obligated to forgive this, or it's gonna be a problem with the Jews. That's basic. That's just typical Islam. There's no eye for an eye at play here. All right, somebody lied to you, and a Jew will kosher this. Ain't gonna be a problem with the Jews. It's gonna be a problem with a Jew, maybe. But this communist broadcast mass media, when they call it the zombie apocalypse, they're brains. I'm like, read a book. They're like, read a book. It's a challenge to their authority. Stop trying to terrorize my people by threatening the people that they love, that they care about, with the ultimate injustice. It's Islam. We just call it communism. It's good enough. I stand with Israel. because I am truly faithful and a very dangerous man. I'm a very scary, dangerous, ugly man. Formerly decorated, in fact. Formerly decorated so-and-so with the yada yada airframe triage theologies. I'm not a guilty man. I'm a trained killer. First I shall do no harm, and then, I'm justified. I've never raised a hand in anger. I've raised hands for $8 an hour. Trained from a young age to put hands on people. But the first thing they teach you is how to fall without hurting yourself. The second thing they teach you is you don't do it unless you're ready to kill somebody. That one punch knockout, if they're asleep before they hit the ground, they might hit the ground wrong and you go to prison. It's not the sleepy time that kills you, it's the landing. So I, emphasize the rescue aspect of it. I am formally certified to rescue trained killers from a hot zone. Man, not like, please stop sending jingle heads, civilians, act like Neighborhood Watch can false flag me. Oh, the Bridge Club mistook me for a liar. You're going to prison, Grandma. Accessory to multiple homicide across state lines. You're with the people raping Colombian nationals after they sit next to me on the bus. Is that what the Jew do? With the penis? Nah. We all know who that is. Oh, should I publish my address on Twitter for the Ukrainians? As long as the Russian and Israeli, and Pontifex knows where I am. His Holy Eminence knows where I'm at. You're with the rapists, Washington. Feminazi grandma and her gay mafia roommate. He holds the purse strings. Did he pay for the false teeth after the Canadian skinheads knocked them all out because you're a snitch? She's a fugitive. This is why I say, if it bleeds, it's not a god. Like, women are off the table because these heathen will engage a female for like contractual obligation and then act like you're supposed to know about it. But I worship an omnipotent and eternal God. Like, you obviously have no faith. You have no frame of reference from which to judge my motive. You worship some heretic in a lab coat, washing his hands up to the elbow in the blood of our youth, cackling maniacally about him being the only God in the room. I'm supposed to publish my home address so the Ukrainians could be reassured. Like, have you seen NATO lately? Blame Russia. That's the oldest trick in the book. The KKK has a whole racket on like just blaming those guys you can't reach. They'll poison the well, sell you the cure, take you for everything you're worth. Hide behind the city guard. It was obviously Russia did it. Russia came all the way over here to diddle some 7-year-old. Saudi Arabia was founded in 1923. I know Turkey's still there and all, but the whole Turkish racket, it robs food from the mouths of Russian babes and leaves Germans holding the bag because goddamn Germans, they won't believe anything until somebody steals it and rebrands it German and bludgeons them with it until it's like a household name. They're good people. They're good, wholesome, faithful people. And like I always say, religion is a search for universal and eternal truth. And God has none. God has no religion. Because it's an eternal search. God has no afterlife to look forward to. Only God is allowed to do that. So if somebody's doing that, we're going to find him and make sure he's a God. Right? We all agree. Religion takes place on the ground, where good German belongs. Always ready, Deutschland. mfrodeo.blogspot.com. First I shall do no harm. Und sind wir have our ways.